Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping back by. If you're new, welcome. And if not, welcome back, my friend. I hope that you've had a great week so far. I hope you've taken great care of yourselves. And I hope you've gotten some adequate rest because 'tis the season to be exhausted. Let's see. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is the schedule. Monday and Wednesday, you can usually count on a video related to beauty, fragrance, definitely, food, travel, whatever. Monday and Wednesday. And then Friday, always fibro content. If that interests you, consider subscribing and hitting the bell. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is usually the time the videos go up, but life does things. So, now that we've gotten through that little bit of housekeeping, let's talk. So, while I love to review fragrances that you can buy right now, I have fragrances that you can't just go to a store and get anymore because they have been discontinued. Part of me reviewing discontinued fragrances is hoping, in my own little way, that I can influence some of these manufacturers to do a limited reissue of some of these fragrances. If it ever happens, that would delight me. And if it doesn't happen, well, at least I tried. One of the fragrances that I reviewed that has been discontinued is by Mineral Co. Several weeks ago, I did a video on Mineral Co.'s Moonstone body spray. And what I'll do at this point, I will link that right here when I get the chance. And it's discontinued, but it's great. And I mentioned in that video I was almost certain, because it was several years ago, I was almost certain I got 3 of these, but I could only find 2. Well, I found the third one. The third one, funny enough, was my favorite of the 3. So I probably put it to the side thinking, oh, I want to keep it because, of course, I liked it. And when you like something, you usually have one of 2 reactions. Either you want to use it all up immediately because you love it so much, or you want to really savor it. I'm in the latter camp. I don't like to use up my favorite scents for fear that they will discontinue them, like what happened with this. So, the fragrance, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, was Moonstone. This is different. This is Rose Quartz. Now, Rose quartz happens to be one of my favorite gemstones as well. Like, it's not my absolute favorite, but it happens to be one of my favorite, I guess not gemstones, crystals. It happens to be one of my favorites. However, the fragrance doesn't have any rose quartz in it. It's just inspired by it. Now, Mineral Co., all of their scents were inspired by different gemstones slash crystals, but they translated a visual or a tangible item into what's the word I'm looking for? A scent experience. That's not the word I was looking for, but it's close enough. They took something that was tactile and made it something aromatic, which I really, really like the thought of that. Transforming the energy of something from one form to another is something I like to do for fun. But certainly for fragrances, that is an amazing thing to take a concept and to translate it into scent is very powerful. So when they did Rose Quartz, they really outdid themselves. So it says it's inspired by love and passion, and the fragrance notes are rosewater, lily petals, and fresh patchouli. So for starters, it's just a spray. It says it's a fragrance mist. That is an accurate way of describing it. It is just a mist. It is fragrant, but it is not, this is not the kind of thing that you wear if you want all day scent. It is basically a body splash. It is not going to last a long time. I think I mentioned that with Moonstone. It does not last forever. However, you can do what I've recommended in other videos. If you find a fragrance that you love but doesn't have lasting power, you get a body oil that picks up on one of the notes. You apply that first, put this on top, and that will give it more lasting power. What I did for this is I applied a rose oil because rose water is one of the ingredients. I applied this one from Tarif Attar. This is an upcoming review. This is their Turkish rose oil. I dabbed it everywhere that I ended up spraying this subsequently, and it helps the scent to last longer. As I move my arms, I smell it very faintly. this is by far one of the prettiest body splashes I own. Just a very pretty fragrance. Now, it does say Rosewater, it says lily, it says, what was the last one? Patchouli. You can smell all of those, but this is fruity as well. What kind of fruit? I would say it gives a hint of raspberry. I know that's oddly specific, but it does give a hint of berry, specifically to me, raspberry, because it's a little bit of the scent gives me tart, even though that's a flavor. Just roll with me here. It gives me a bit of a tartness and it has a brightness to it that you typically don't get just from florals. There are some bright florals. Rose is not one of them. Neither is, well, lily does lean toward a little bit of lightness, but for this to be as bright as it is, you know that it has some other notes. I didn't get to check Fragrantica before getting on here. However, the notes from Fragrantica, if I can find this scent on there, will be below. And of course, I'll put the notes that are on the bottle below as well. So this is 0.95 fluid ounces or 28 milliliters. Fragrance mist, inspired by love and passion. Very easy to wear, very floral. This is extremely feminine as far as scent profile. However, it could be made slightly edgier, a little bit more masculine by emphasizing the patchouli base note. So patchouli is typically a more it tends to be a little bit heavier, a little bit of a headier scent, but it is not as heavy scent wise as something like amber. Amber is a very heavy note to me, as is pine or sandalwood. It can go light or really deep, but even sandalwood to me is on the same level as patchouli as far as intensity, depending on how it's formulated, of course. But this one in particular, the patchouli lends itself to um, a lighter interpretation of patchouli. So if you wanted to give it a little more edge, give it a little more body and a little more oomph, definitely using a patchouli scented body oil would be fantastic, as well as a true rose oil would give it some more heft. This one is a rose oil. It smells like rose on the skin, and I put this on top and it smells heavenly, but it smells more like rose. I don't get all of the sweetness from this when I put it on top of that rose oil because the rose oil is more powerful. However, it gives this some more lasting power, which is really nice because it's a great spray. Do I recommend it for longevity? Absolutely not. It's a mist. It is not for longevity. However, it is a very pretty smell. And if you like rose and lily and patchouli, you probably think, oh, I know how it's going to smell. To me, it smells quite different from what you would expect reading the notes because it is fruity. And like I said, it gives me raspberry, but definitely some sort of berry notes that are very sweet, but they're not listed on here. And they don't last long. They're top notes. I mean, the top of the top notes, they don't last long at all when you spray it, but it still really gives it a juiciness that you don't get when you're reading the notes on the back of here. So, originally, this was $4.50. So, very reasonably priced little body spray, great for kids. And I hate to say kids because, it makes it sound like it's juvenile. It's not a juvenile scent. It's just that it is not the kind of fragrance that you apply once and you don't have to reapply for hours. This one you have to reapply if you want it to smell great, probably every hour on the hour. And that is just, it's a huge ask, right? So do I like it? I love it. It's my favorite of the three options. I have one more to review. And when that goes live, I'll tell you why. It's my least favorite, but it's still really good. And it's still something I would absolutely wear. But yeah, that's Rose Quartz. I'm not going to keep talking on and on because we're at almost 10 minutes. But if you're interested in trying it, Of course, it's no longer sold by the company that manufactured it, which is Bath and Body Works. They no longer sell it, but you can get it on the secondary market, probably for roughly, I won't say roughly the same price. Someone's probably charging way more for the bottle. But I'm looking at the sticker. Originally, they only thought it was worth $4.50 US. So that's it for today's fragrance. I hope that you all take great care of yourselves. Enjoy what's left of this, wintry, blustery weather and season that we're having. I hope that you enjoy yourself just the same. Please take care, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye bye.